Hello, students. I'm Vinitha Nair from Parlatilak Vidyalaya English Medium School. Let us begin with the 10th session. The topic, question 7b, developing a story or narrating an experience, marks 5. What is a story? A story or a tale is a narration of an incident or an event which may be real or imaginary. A story is the narration of an event in such a way that there is a takeaway, an experience, or a lesson to learn. A good story aims to impart information, provide lifelike experiences, develop the right attitude, or create a point of view. Every story, remember, has a narrator, and every story has listeners. A good narrator makes it worthwhile for the listener. So now let us actually analyze a beautiful story written by O. Henry, the title After 20 Years. O. Henry's short story, After 20 Years, is a masterpiece which narrates the story of the reunion of two childhood friends, Jimmy Wells and Bob. They had made a pact to meet after 20 years when they had last met each other. They keep their word. Jimmy, after 20 years, had become a policeman, while Bob, now known as Silky Bob, had turned into a criminal. Their meeting after 20 years and what happens at the meeting and how the events unfold is what the story is all about. So, I'm just going to share with you the introduction and conclusion of this beautiful story written by Ho Henry after 20 years. The cop moved along the street looking strong and important. This was the way he always moved. He was not thinking of how he looked. There were few people on the street to see him. It was only about 10 at night, but it was cold, and there was a wind with a little rain in it. He stopped at doors he walked along, trying each door to be sure that it was closed for the night. Now and then he turned and looked up and down the street. He was a fine looking cop, watchful, guarding the peace. People in this part of the city went home early. Now and then, you might see the lights of a shop or of a small restaurant, but most of the doors belonged to business places that had been closed hours ago. Then the cop suddenly slowed his walk. Near the door of a darkened shop, a man was standing. As the cop walked toward him, the man spoke quickly. "It's all right, officer," he said. "I am waiting for a friend. 20 years ago, we agreed to meet here tonight. It sounds strange to you, doesn't it? I will explain if you want to be sure that everything's all right." Now, the conclusion. At the corner stood a shop bright with electric lights. When they came near, each turned to look at each other's face. The man from the west stopped suddenly and pulled his arm away. "You are not Jimmy Wells," he said. 20 years is a long time, but not long enough to change the shape of a man's nose. It sometimes changes a good man into a bad one," said the tall man. "You've been under arrest for 10 minutes, Bob. Chicago cops thought you might be coming to New York. They told us to watch for you. Are you coming with me quietly?" "That's wise. But first, here is something I was asked to give you. You may read it here at the window. It's from a cop named Wells." The man from the west opened the little piece of paper. His hand began to shake a little as he read. "Bob, I was at the place on time. I saw the face of the man wanted by Chicago cops. I didn't want to arrest you myself, so I went and got another cop and sent him to do the job. Jimmy." A beautiful story of two long lost friends who had promised to meet each other after 20 years. Unfortunately, circumstances changed them and things changed drastically in their lives. written beautifully by O. Henry. Look at the beautiful use of imagery, dialogues, the way the events are arranged in proper sequence. And that is the reason why this is a classic, a masterpiece, a beautiful short story. So, whenever you write a story, please remember you can use the three act structure. It is a structure which is actually also a model which is used in story narration, and that actually divides a story into three parts. So whenever you are wondering how to start and you know um, writing a story, first and foremost you have to understand that you have to have a proper setup, and then as you move on, the next part would be the confrontation, and finally the resolution, which is the culmination of the story. So the setup is the opening scene of your story, which gives a preview, which provides clarity to the reader regarding what is in store ahead in the story. So you can have a beautiful setting. It could be on a deserted road, a crowded road, a beautiful village, a city which is bustling with activity, but there has to be a proper setup, and you have to use imagery and other techniques in such a way that your setup comes alive as I read the first few lines of your story. Then come the confrontation or conflict. In this paragraph you are supposed to provide tense moments, and it should actually take or propel your narration forward. And then comes the conclusion or the resolution, the culmination of the story. Here, the conflicts are resolved. Sometimes they remain unresolved also, depending upon your idea. And the story is taken finally to a logical conclusion. The resolution is the part of the story's plot where the main problem is sorted or worked out. The resolution should be introduced only after the falling action, and it usually leads to the conclusion of the story. Moving on. So, talking about, you know, conclusion and how you end the story and how you leave a lasting impact on the minds of the reader, you have to remember that there has to be rising action, falling action, and resolution. The part of the narration which includes exposition, in which narration takes the tension to its peak, where the rising action is witnessed maximum, usually in the climax of the story, that is very, very important. Okay. So you have to use the right descriptive words, and you have to, be very careful about your choice of words where you build up that rising action. Then falling action, that part of the story immediately after the climax, towards the resolution of the plot, wherein the conflict, tension, or whatever turmoil you have created decline. All right. And then the resolution, which is the end, the culmination of the story. Here, the conflicts are resolved, as I told you, sometimes unresolved, but all said and done, the story should end. There has to be a logical conclusion. Moving on. Points to remember while writing a story. Begin with a beautiful title. After 20 years, such a beautiful title. We are excited. What happened after 20 years? Let us read. So, you start with a beautiful title, the gist of the story. If you can encapsulate in that title, it will be beautiful. It could be also the name of a character from the story, an incident from the story, or even a proverb which sums up the essence of the story. Have a clear idea of the plot before you start writing. So, make an outline and arrange all the events in a proper sequence before you actually get down to writing. Maintain a flow, arrange the events in a very logical manner, in a proper sequence. There has to be a logical connection also between the events. Otherwise, it will appear, incomplete to the reader. Bring alive the characters using descriptive words and imagery, as I told you. Conversations and dialogues, remember, add beauty to your story. Include them. They take your story to a totally different level. So those dialogues and conversation, thought-provoking, dialogues, please include in your writing, in your story. The conclusion should take the reader by surprise. Look at O. Henry's conclusion. Didn't it take you by surprise? First time when you read it, you did. So take the reader by surprise. Creating the first impression is very important. Let there be an unexpected beginning. It could be action packed, it could be a unique beginning which should encourage the reader to read ahead. So, introduction matters. Set up the plot. It should be clear in your mind, as I told you earlier, before you start writing. And that plot which you set up should be reflected in the introduction also. Develop your characters, having a protagonist and few but powerful supporting characters. Don't have too many characters, that will again be confusing, but few characters, effective characters, are more than enough. Choose a message or moral you wish to convey. As I told you, there has to be a takeaway from your story. Have strong dialogues which are memorable. Have a proper setting. Ruskin Bond's thief story came alive partly because of the setting. So have a beautiful setting. Use the right descriptive word to bring alive that setting also. That is again important, and that will come only with practice. Create conflict and tension to add pace to your narration. All right, moving on. Now, how to give life to the characters in your story so that they become memorable? You can give them a specific body language, the way they walk, the way they move their hands, the way, they make some facial expressions, a unique style of dialogue delivery, maybe. In Hindi films, have you seen? A villain has a unique style of dialogue delivery. A hero will speak in a particular manner. So give a unique style of dialogue delivery to every character. Give the readers an insight into the thought process of the characters. What are the characters thinking about a particular event, incident, so that we are familiar with the character? All this will come, students, only with practice. And attribute emotions to the character. All right? A kind person, a selfish person, right? A selfless person. There are so many emotions which you can give the character and bring the character alive in your story. Define the response of the characters in varied situation. Okay. So how will a particular character respond? Will he feel guilty? Will he feel happy? Will he feel responsible? Depending upon the plot, you can define their responses to different situations that are included in the story. And why is it important? We will be able to relate to those characters. And that is very important in a story to make a story effective and memorable. Now, I was talking to you about setting. So now I have used this word setting and what all things you can include in the setting. Scene or place where the story unfolds. It could be, in a village, in a beautiful village. It could be in a city with all its hustle and bustle. It could be in an isolated place. It could be on an island. But select the place depending upon the characters that you're going to include. Where will your story unfold? Environmental setting of the plot. Is it hot? Is it very cold? You need not say all that. The very fact that one of the characters uses a shawl indicates that the weather is not very warm there, and or you could say that it was the hot weather added to the problems which he was already facing. You can, in a subtle manner, talk about the environment without actually talking about the environment. So that will add to the beauty of your writing. All right. Time of occurrence. Again, you need not mention the specific time. Okay. You can say that the beautiful sunrise or as he witnessed an amazingly beautiful sunset. When we are saying that, we are not saying the time, but at the same time, we are conveying the message that it is early morning or evening. All right. Terrains, temperature, and other details also can come through your story without actually, specifying it, but through subtle, introduction of sentences, which actually conveys the message that it is a very hot place or it is a very cold place or other details. All right. Suppose when you say that the little girl took a basket to collect colorful flowers from the garden, so we know that as far as the place is concerned, it is extremely beautiful, filled with greenery. So you are creating all these things without actually stating certain things through your story. Again, practice is very, very important. Information pertaining to plot and characters, the nature of the characters, as I told you, flora, fauna, geographical factors influencing the story, all this you can weave into your story in a very, very subtle manner. And that will come when you at least write 3 stories per week. Now, how to enrich every paragraph? So when you start a new paragraph, you have to enter the theme, then assisting sentences will come. Read and research before you write anything so that those ideas can also be included, incorporated, adding to the substance in your composition. Illustrations and examples may be used to prove your point. Convey your thoughts and ideas with extreme clarity. Hold the ideas together and then conclude your story. All right. So the thoughts and ideas of the characters, if it comes out clearly, we will be not we will understand the story better. So you should make sure that using the right sentences and words, especially descriptive words, you should create a clear picture of not only the plot but also of the nature of the characters included in the story. So make a beginning. Let us give wings to your creativity and let us become amazing story writers. So, how to make a beginning? Start with a beautiful plot with lively characters. All the characters are alive, and there is action, a lot of buzzing, of the entire entire plot should be very, very lively. So lively that we start relating to the story and its characters. All right. Describe the setting. The beautiful sight of branches swaying, birds chirping, the gurgling of the streams. All these, use of descriptive words will take your story to another level. You can use these examples sometimes and ensure that you create the word imagery, word pictures, and you bring it alive for the readers. This then talk about the time early morning when the sun is taking a dip in the sea. What are we doing here? We are talking about the when of the story. All right. Then where? In the countryside, where people live happily or where people live happily. What happened? Difference of opinion came up between the people. What happens in the end? Conflicts resolved and people lived happily ever after. So these are all ways in which you can, what do you say? You can navigate your thinking in different directions and come up with amazing ideas of making your story really effective and memorable. So, to cut the long story short, as I usually say, first and foremost, brainstorm for creative ideas. Don't just get started. Spend a lot of time thinking about the story you wish to write. Focus on the theme of the story which you zero down on. Bring characters and settings alive using appropriate words. There has to be a very clear idea of what you're narrating. Provide clarity in your narration. Keep the introduction, body, and conclusion alive with conflict, mystery, adventure, twist and turn. All that is very, very important. Take the story to a grand climax and provide title and moral. Very important. In 10th standard, you are not expected to give moral in a separate line. What you can do is you can incorporate the moral within the story. When I read the story, I understand what moral you are trying to impart. That is very, very important. Moving on. So this is something which I have designed, which actually helps me to write stories. It is, we are not supposed to reproduce this in the exam. When we are practicing, we can make a chart like this, where we write the title of the story, the key characters in the story, what is the type of the story, time and place, then how will I introduce the descriptive words which I intend to use, imagery, figures of speech, how the events unfold with action, dialogues, then how the conflicts and situations come to an end, and finally the conclusion. So when you actually make a rough draft of what you intend to write, you come up with creative work. So now let us read this story, the thief story, again, and understand how all the points which we discussed are present in this story. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. So do you, he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. What's your name? Hari Singh. I lied. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. Look at the beauty of Ruskin Bond's writing. Experienced and fairly successful hand. Look at the descriptive words used. Tall, lean fellow. The character comes alive in front of you. All right. And the dialogues and everything so beautiful. All right. And now let us go to the conclusion. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50-rupee note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. My spirits rose. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Today we will start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and that smile came by itself without any effort. Here, the author has not mentioned any moral separately. As I told you, we are not supposed to write the moral separately, but we learned so many good values from this lesson, didn't we? So the moral is embedded within the story. Don't break anyone's trust. Be honest at all times. Never resort to dishonest means. So many lessons we learned without the author actually telling us. And that is the beauty of good storytelling. Moving on. As I told you, there should always be a takeaway from your story. The moral of the story written by Ruskin Bond, named The Thief Story, is that human values and relations are important in life and it can change a person. The message in The Thief Story is not to betray the trust reposed on you by a person. Once the trust of a person is lost, everything is lost. Kindness touches hearts and brings about a change even in the worst person. This is seen in the fact that Hari Singh, the thief, despite stealing and running away from Anil, decides to come back because he cannot bear the thought that Anil would feel bad that he was cheated by a person in whom he had placed so much trust. Goodness and kindness have the power to radiate and change the world. Look at the, you know, takeaway. So much to remember each time we think of this story. it actually fills us with so many good values. All right. So I hope you understood how to write good stories. Now let us see what are narrative essay or how to narrate an incident. Narrative essays narrate a vivid story, an incident, usually from one person's point of view, viewpoint that is. It is usually written in the first person. A narrative essay applies all the story elements like an introduction, body, conclusion, as well as plot, characters, setting, and climax, bringing them together to complete the narration of an incident which is given to you. In the exam, you may be given a beginning or an end, wherein you will have to take your narration to that end or begin your narration with the beginning that is provided. Okay, so narrating an incident, while narrating an incident, provide details of an experience. Again, it could be real or imaginary. Using the points discussed so far, you can easily narrate an incident, same as narrating a story. But the only difference is it would be mostly in first person, depending upon, of course, the beginning and the end provided to you. So in that, you can include the following: describing the incident, usually in first person, whatever emotions you experienced, the impact of the experience on you, and the lessons learned. So it will help you to narrate that particular incident in a beautiful manner. But it should have all the elements of a good story in it so that it will be an interesting read for anyone who goes through it. Okay. So here, let me share with you a beautiful narrative essay. Write the story with the following ending. Throughout the story, we were only hoping that all would be well. So you have to give a title. Quick action saved a precious life. At first, I ignored the alarm. It sounded like a fire alarm, such as the ones we were used to at the fire drill in our building. I had taken part in so many fire drills that when the real thing happened, I mistook it for a drill in the hospital where my dad was a patient. Then I saw the matron running in excitedly shouting fire. The look on her face said it all. Being fairly well built myself, without a second thought, I just reached down and lifted my dad, who was asleep in bed, and started walking towards the exit. By now, the doctors and nurses were running here and there shouting orders. I saw some patients gallantly helping others and taking them towards the exits. We started to file out. We were on the first floor, and the fire seemed to have started on the second floor. We had to hurry. I held my father close to me. He was awake, and realizing what happened, he smiled at me weakly. I returned the smile reassuringly. As we reached the exit, I heard the welcome sound of the fire brigade sirens. Soon, a burly fireman walked up and, with crisp instructions, had all of us moving as one body down the stairs. Once down, I saw my mother crying and pushing the police away in her efforts to enter the hospital. I called out to her, and the moment she saw me, the sorrow that creased her lovely face turned to that of sheer joy. An attendant of an ambulance standing close by motioned to me, and I helped my father onto a stretcher and into the ambulance. He was going to be taken to another hospital. My mum was a bundle of nerves. When the ambulance moved off, she just leaned against me and sobbed and sobbed. I held her tightly to me and consoled her as best as I could. We then hired a taxi and followed the ambulance, and throughout the journey, we were only hoping that all would be well. All right. And so this is how we end with given throughout the journey. We were hoping that all would be well. It is a small incident which is narrated, but it was gripping because of all the detailing which has gone into this model essay. I hope all of you understood how to write a story, how to write a narrative essay, how to narrate an incident, and the difference between the two, depending upon the topic and depending upon how easy the topic is or how comfortable you are writing a story or a narrative essay, you have to take your pick. So for homework, you can write a story with the following beginning. It was a beautiful day, and narrate an incident with the following ending. And I promised never to repeat the mistake again. So remember, whenever you write a story, again, there are marks for, all the detailing which goes into your story, like the introduction, grammar, vocabulary, and punctuation. You have to be very careful about how relevant your points are, the flow in your storytelling, and finally, how beautifully you have concluded your story or narrative essay. Storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world. So, together, let us write and share and narrate stories, and let us keep on putting ideas into this world. Thank you so much. On this note, I take your leave. So, all the best, students. Thank you.